Well, hello guys, welcome back. I know I look like I have some kind of rare skin pigmentation now. No, we had to redo the dye job. It was time. It's actually been 3 weeks, so it lasted 3 weeks until I'm sure you guys could see the last couple videos the roots were showing, and it didn't look bad, but I'm going out Easter Sunday, so I thought I'd freshen up the color. We did 3 hours this time. And that was on top of the red that was still there. So I like it. It came out, it's coming out anymore like a soft, like devil's food color. It's red, but it has hints of chocolate in it. So I kind of like it. And you saw his foxes came in. And I am so happy these came in. I love the Hanzo plush. I mean, look at that little face. Look at that adorable little foxy face. Um, a lot of people that got these, I got mine through Walmart because it was the cheapest price. So, by the way, if you're looking for these, go to Walmart. This is the smallest one. Um, a lot of people that got these were disappointed in them. For one, they're handmade and they have a booklet with them. It takes like a minimum of 3 years for the craftspeople to learn how to make them, and they're airbrushed, and they have to shave down the fur and everything, and everything's like sewn inside so that you have like muscle tone and everything. Like, look at those little, you can see them. See how the back foot is shaped on the top like an actual fox's foot, because they walk up like a cat, not, down like other dogs. So really nice details. This one does have like a little bend in the front legs, but it's only because when these people pack things, instead of thinking, hey, that plush cost a good bit of money, or whatever it costs, it doesn't matter. They just jam it into any box they can jam it into. I know they have protocol and everything, so if you're a packer, don't yell at me. But at the same time, then you have a bunch of customers saying this product is crap, where, these are made in the Philippines by artists because they're really good at soft sculpture. So they're excellent at it. And each one of these is handmade. And the reason Loki liked this one so much, and he claimed this one, is because the hunter showed up. So I knew it was weird when I mentioned like stuffed foxes. I was like, why did I even care? Because I felt a little guilty about thinking, oh, those look so beautiful. Because stuffed foxes of today, real, taxidermy mounts, do not look like they did in my day. As I've told you before, in my day, everything had its fur slicked down with some kind of preservative. Now they look very beautiful. The fur's just as beautiful as it was in real life. But of course, a good mount is expensive because it takes time to learn it and they have to buy the form and everything. But he kind of liked her because she does look a little bit like a taxidermy mount. She looks a tiny bit like a real fox that was mounted. And we've reached an agreement. I will not purposely buy him anything with fox fur or anything, fox product in it. But if we come across one, like say at a yard sale, or we come across one at a flea market, like a bazaar, and it's like dirt cheap, and it's like it was meant to be, and I have the money on me, then that's something different. You do not, by the way, have to send me a fox. If we're meant to find one, we'll find one. And with her, she is the rocker fox that I wanted. They came out in like 2013. They debuted. And I've wanted one forever, and I finally ordered her. The brother to our other fox is coming in Saturday, according to the shipping update. It was supposed to be Tuesday, and then it's going to be Saturday. And yeah, I'm aware, if I didn't tell you already, that I have this up here. We needed to do the dye job. So it's been interesting because with the hunter coming in, he was kind of saying it was great for him. He's been running around celebrating because it kind of freed up his energy, and it'll make providing for me that much easier. Because, I was vegan for a time. Obviously, vegans aren't going to like stuff, certain stuff like hunting and fur farms. And I was never really educated. Who are the people that are vocal about it? They're like the you know, the anti-fur people, and then when the fur people stand up for themselves, they sound like bad guys. But he actually kind of was nudging me through like some art I saw and some other stuff, and like some beautiful mounts I saw, to go look at how the animals are actually raised. Like with minks, they use the entire animal, and it's so fast. The way they die is so fast, they don't even know it happens. Same thing for the foxes. And before you like mention this horrible videos, I was also vegan. There's the same way they kill chickens and piggies. So yeah, all that bacon I love, I was like, oh, okay. And it's in their best interest, because it's actually farming. It's in their best interest to treat their livestock with as much care and love as possible. The minks are kept in separate cages because in the wild they are solitary animals, and they would be ripping each other to shreds. If you had a room full of minks, you would have like a bunch of injured, terrible minks. And of course, the people that hate fur farming will go out of their way to make them all look bad. So I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. Ethical people are going to do the most they can to take care of their animals. And unethical, lazy, terrible people, as the fur industry themselves will mention, they're not going to last long, because they're not going to put the care and love into breeding the animals. Like, you know, it's just like with any other animal that's livestock, whether we like to think of it or not. Ethical dog breeders will breed healthy animals and will not overbreed their females, but unethical people run puppy mills. It's the same thing. So, and they keep them in those wire cages, and this was fascinating. I'm not telling you if you don't like fur farms, but like as a farmer and granddaughter as a farmer, I found this fascinating because I did, well, at least work on the farm on weekends. They keep them in those raised up cages to keep them out of their dirt. They used to keep them outside, like foxes and minks and everything. And at least in the minks case, it led to a lot of disease. It was actually cleaner and healthier for the animals to bring them inside. And they're actually so tame. They come right up to the people, and they show the process. They absolutely don't know what's happening. It's just like, bloop, and they're gone. And they show the whole process the whole way through, which I won't mention, but it was done very professionally. It was done like if you eat meat, and I eat meat, it was done with more proficiency than that. It was so fast. It was all done by hand, so, I mean, they do have machines to help them, but a lot of it was done by hand. And it's in their best interest to be as kind to those animals as possible the whole time they're alive. And I was like, you know what? I don't care now if people wear fur. I really don't, because I didn't realize how many products have mink in them, like cosmetics, tires, like eco fuel for cars, and all this other stuff. So use the entire animal, I think, with the fox as well. And it's painless. And, you know, Loki pointed out to me very gently, he said, I know you mean well, but sparing an animal from death on, say, a fur farm, or, you know, like when I was vegan, like eating meat or whatever, you're only sparing it from that death. It's eventually gonna die. Is it kinder to die in old age or from some horrible disease, or is it kinder to die when it's healthy and it doesn't even know it's coming? 'Cause he is a hunter. He is a hunter. We see in the tales he is a hunter, and he's, you know, he had to hunt in his time. Whether you think the gods have those kind of actions or not, hunting was vital. People don't understand, when you have a farm and you're growing crops, you only get that harvest season in once. You don't get to go out every day and pick an apple and pick just enough corn and pick just enough tomatoes. It's not the way it happens during the winter and everything else. You have to hunt, or you have to slaughter your livestock. It was a fact of life. People don't want to hear it, but it was true. And you had to wear fur because you were going to freeze to death if you didn't. So it was, you know, it was nice meeting the hunter, because, you know, if Loki would kill something, it would be instantaneous. The animal would not even know it's coming. And the Lord of the Hunt, Wiccans, we kind of try to ignore that part. Make sure that, you know, the hunt is successful and that, you know, the kill is as painless as possible, because you don't want to be chasing a wounded animal all over the forest. You want that animal to just drop and not even know what hit it. So it was interesting, and it actually, I have felt like something was missing, and I was trying to figure out what it was, and it was that. So yeah, that's a big change on this channel. I won't show up one day wearing mink, but it's more than likely. But it's kind of liberating, because I'm like, I don't care if you do wear mink or if you don't. I don't care if you eat exotic animals or you don't. As long as the animal was killed as efficiently as possible, we're good. You know, don't torture your food. Loki had pointed out when I was having like problems with chimpanzees, because we've been doing this for a couple of days. He says, you know, you humans eat animals alive, and he was right. I don't know if you're aware of this, but it's a thing in cuisine to eat goldfish and baby octopuses alive. And it was in an article once to teach children to do this, because it'll make them cultured, you know, in the ways of food. And I would not eat my prey alive. I like my prey dead. But, you know, to each to their own. I'm like, no, I'm not eating it alive. I accidentally eat bugs alive, you know, we all have. I'm not eating it alive. It's like, no, I'm not eating it alive. You want to? Go ahead, have fun. But me, no, I'm not. That's okay. But to each their own, and it was, he's really happy now. His energy is really spirited. And I finally got to see him in the form of the hunter. And that's what I was so miserable about. And, like, it felt like he was really upset about something. So he helped me with my pelt. We did the coloring. We did it for 3 hours. And we did it, like, really late at night. And I thought I would sleep with it on all night long. And he's like, no, it's been 3 hours. You wash that out. So we washed it out and finally conditioned. I usually never condition, but they tell you on the package to condition. He's like, it'll be okay. Trust me. So we conditioned. And it was really interesting to meet the hunter. So yeah, if you would have asked me before, I would have given you the answer of you do you. But yeah, it's totally okay if you use fox parts or coyote parts. As ethical pagans, we do want to try to find out where it came from. Just because you want to make sure that you're putting proper energy on your altar. I know it's not always possible to know, so like, especially if you buy used or something, so, or it's like handed down to you, so, you know, like, just use your best judgment. But, you know, as long as you know it's ethical, and if it looks like it's a professional piece, it should be, then, you know, by all means, if that's what you're drawn to, that's what you're drawn to. You shouldn't be made to feel ashamed about it. In the same token, if you're like, I will never have fur, ever, you do you. I have rabbit fur on 2 of my altars, because I've always held the position that if I can eat it, I can wear it. And that's like the only reason I don't wear mink or fox or like beaver or something. It's like, if I haven't eaten it, and if I don't know where the meat goes, then I was generally not going to wear it. But, you know, you do you. And I have antlers on the one altar, and where those came from is that, you know, game control does have to go in and take out surplus animals. And if they don't, they'll either starve to death in the winter, or it'll create a disease situation. So, you know, you do need checks and balances. And remember, humans are animals. We're primate species. And oh yeah, I'm feeling a nudge. The only thing connected to animals he wouldn't like is human stupidity in going to these farms and letting these animals go. These animals are completely different from wild animals. They do not have survival skills. No one taught them how to survive out in the wild. It's just as cruel as taking a dog or a cat and dumping them in the country, or, you know, dumping your bunny rabbit out in the woods because you think it'll live. It's very cruel. If this worked, we'd have native populations of dogs, cats, and exotic bunnies everywhere, but we don't. So please do not go to these farms and do this. And you're taking away someone's livelihood anyways, so, you know, just you be you, but don't break the law and don't be cruel to animals by taking wild animals. And you're not only condemning the animals to death if you do that, but you're condemning the local wildlife as well, because all this disease and everything can spread. So, you know, that was interesting. I'm not going to probably, like I said, probably not going to show up in fur, and like I said, I won't buy anything on eBay or anything for him, even though I've seen some really beautiful, gorgeous mounts. But he's like, let me provide it, let me provide it. So he's like dancing around in a circle. So if something actually crosses my path, and I don't mean eBay or Amazon, if I'm like out at a sale or something, because this feels really organic, natural, he'll have it. You'll all be the first to know, but yeah, he'll have it, and he loves his little Hansa fox. I love her too. These don't have fur in them, by the way. I wouldn't care if they did, but they don't have fur in them. These are all synthetic materials, but those are those charming glass eyes they use in mounts. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Odin's back here like, tell him about the wild hunt, tell him about the wild hunt. Yeah, Loki is thought to sometimes by some people to either ride with Odin in the wild hunt, and in some areas he probably was thought to lead the wild hunt. So there you go. So I will see you guys later, and happy Freya's Day. Sorry I didn't get anything to you Thursday, but we were doing that. We were doing the deep spiritual work, and I was in no position to go on camera. So see you guys later. Bye-bye.